So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. I think our Chief Culinary Officer from Live Alt Life, Monika, has also joined us here. Uh, just because we are waiting for some more people, we are going to start the session exactly at 10. In 7 minutes, we will start. Yeah, 4:10, we will start.
Hey there, health enthusiasts. Welcome back to our channel where we explore the latest and greatest in health and wellness. Today, I'm diving into something that could revolutionize your wellness journey: gut health. Yes, you heard that right. The tiny world inside your stomach holds the key to a healthier you. You might not realize it, but your gut is at the heart of your overall well-being. It's like the command center for many of your body's essential functions. It influences everything from digestion to mood and even immunity. Sounds important, right? Imagine having the power to optimize this crucial part of your body. Enter BugSpeaks by Lucine Rich Bio. This innovative service is here to help you unlock the secrets of your gut. This isn't just any gut microbiome testing service, it's cutting edge. BugSpeaks leverages the latest in scientific advancements to provide you with unparalleled insights. BugSpeaks uses advanced shotgun metagenomics technology to give you a deep dive into your gut's ecosystem. This means you get a comprehensive analysis of all the microorganisms living in your gut. Think of it as a detailed report card for your gut. You'll know exactly what's going on inside, down to the tiniest detail. With BugSpeaks, you'll learn which beneficial microbes may be missing, which harmful ones might be lurking, and how well your gut is producing essential vitamins, neurotransmitters, and short-chain fatty acids. This information is crucial for tailoring your diet and lifestyle to support optimal gut health. It's like having a behind-the-scenes tour of your gut's inner workings. You get to see the ugly and take steps to improve your gut health. But it doesn't stop there. BugSpeaks provides actionable insights that you can use to make real changes. BugSpeaks goes a step further by offering a personalized 3-month plan tailored to your unique microbiome. This plan includes dietary recommendations, lifestyle changes, and even specific supplements to help you achieve your health goals. You'll get expert consultations to help you navigate your results and make informed decisions about your health. These experts are there to guide you every step of the way, ensuring you get the most out of your BugSpeaks experience. It's like having a personal gut health coach. Imagine having someone who understands your unique needs and helps you make the best choices for your health. Imagine transforming your gut health with science-backed insights and personalized guidance. The changes you can achieve are truly remarkable. No more guesswork, just a clear path to wellness. With BugSpeaks and Rich Biome, you have everything you need to take control of your health. So, are you ready to take charge of your gut health? The journey to a healthier you starts with understanding your gut. Head over to BugSpeaks and discover the secret to wellness today. It's time to unlock the potential of your gut and transform your health. Your gut will thank you. A healthy gut means a happier, more vibrant you. Remember, a healthy gut is a happy you. When your gut is in balance, you feel better, look better, and live better. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow health enthusiasts. Spread the word and help others discover
Hello, food lovers! I'm Monika Manchanda, a passionate chef with years of experience in crafting delicious and nutritious meals. My journey into the culinary world began with a fascination for flavors and a deep-seated belief in the power of food to heal and nourish. Over the years, I've delved into the science of nutrition, understanding how different ingredients impact our bodies. This journey led me to a profound realization. A healthy gut is the cornerstone of overall well-being. My mission is to empower you with the knowledge and tools to transform your gut health through simple, flavorful cooking. I believe that everyone deserves to experience the joy of food while nourishing their bodies from the inside out. In this essay, I'll share some of my most cherished chef's secrets for creating gut-friendly dishes that are as delicious as they are beneficial. Let's embark on a culinary adventure together, where we unlock the potential of food to revitalize our guts and enhance our overall health. We often underestimate the importance of our gut, but it's far more than just a digestive system. It's a complex ecosystem teeming with trillions of bacteria, collectively known as the gut microbiome. These microscopic wonders play a crucial role in our health, influencing everything from digestion and immunity to mood and even cognitive function. An imbalance in the gut microbiome, often caused by poor diet, stress, or antibiotics, can lead to a myriad of health issues. Digestive problems like bloating, gas, and constipation are common signs of an unhappy gut. But the impact goes far beyond, potentially contributing to weight gain, weakened immunity, skin problems, and even mental health concerns. The good news is that we have the power to nurture our gut microbiome through the food we eat. By incorporating gut-friendly foods into our diets, we can restore balance, improve digestion, and enhance our overall well-being. Remember, a happy gut translates to a happier, healthier you. Creating gut-friendly meals doesn't require complicated recipes or expensive ingredients. In fact, some of the simplest dishes are the most beneficial. Here are a few chef's tips to get you started. 1. Embrace fiber power. Fiber is essential for a healthy gut, acting as food for the beneficial bacteria residing.
Monica, are you there?
Yes, I'm very much there.
It was like a fun, cute starting video that we just
Yeah.
played. So, thank you for being here today with us. And we have a few participants joined in, and also because, of course, it's a Sunday afternoon, people might be taking their
I know. Sorry,
necessary
I
nap.
had to change it from yesterday to today due to a family emergency. So that's on
No,
me.
no, absolutely. No, no, no. So that is covered. That is not an issue. We are streaming this live on our YouTube channel, so people can, watch it anytime they wish. So, yeah, Rohini ma'am, if you would like to say a few words, and then we can hand this over to Monica and for her to take it on. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Diksha. Welcome, Monica, to our third episode of Nurture in November. Compared to many other um, webinars that we have conducted, today we seem to be having more crowd. Whenever it comes to something called as chef and cooking, people are very much interested to know how they can make their food more healthy. That is what, especially post-pandemic, everyone has got into making healthy foods at home. And I think the tips that you are going to share today would be really helpful for all our people who have joined today. So I will not take much of your time. Please go ahead. This platform is all yours to share.
Thank you, Rohini. Thank you, Diksha. Hi, folks. Whoever joined on the call, I'm Monica, the real Monica, and not the AI model that Diksha just introduced a little while ago. Today, I would just you guys have kind of I think you have had session on probiotics, how to ferment food already. So today, I will just quickly, guys, take you through what else can we do to make gut healthy, get enough probiotics and prebiotics in your meals always on a regular basis. Diksha, I can't share my screen. You'll have to enable the screen sharing for me.
All right, I'm doing that.
Sorry, guys, I've switched off my video because my network seems to be playing a little tranny today, and I want to stream. So
Monica, are you able to share the screen now?
yes, now I am able to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just give me a minute. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So hi guys, I am Monika Manchanda, and I'm an ex-IT person who dwelt into food a little over 10, 12 years ago. I've done a few courses from Harvard in food and science, and how molecules and everything behaves. That turned me into a chef. And I did recipe development and recipe consulting for a long time before till I joined Revolt Life as a co-founder about 5 years ago. We are a company that specializes in supplying. We call ourselves a food as medicine company. We specialize in meals and advice, mostly meals for the reversal of diabetes and other lifestyle diseases. That's a very brief about me. Uh, Today, this is what we will broadly cover in our agenda. And at any point of time, I'm sharing my screen. I can't see the chat right now. But if you have any questions, please type in the chat or keep in your notepad, and we'll go through this at the end of the session. So this is what we will go through. What your gut needs, what is prebiotics, what are probiotics, how do we get enough probiotics, what's the difference between raw versus cooked, some easy kitchen tips to use these ingredients and prebiotics and probiotics in your recipes, a few fermentation ideas. Then we'll go on to Q&A. At the end of this, by tomorrow or sometime, I will send this PPT as well as a bunch of recipes via Diksha to you guys. So feel free to make notes, but I will send this thing to you guys. You will get whatever you are seeing on screen as a PDF. So one of the things while doing this journey with Live Out Life, and when I became a little more nutritionally and health conscious chef about 5 years ago, one of the things that I read somewhere was that gut is your second brain, and it made me very deeply think about how we eat and what we eat on an everyday basis, and made me realize that the connection of gut is not just to digestion, it is to so many things. Gut is, and I'm sure you have covered it over time, and BugSpeak folks are more equipped to explain this to you guys than I am. But I was talking to a doctor friend of mine, and the one thing that she said is that if your gut is not healthy, none of your organs will work well. And that is a principle that we very closely follow in Live Out Life also. While we supply meals for diabetics, we also have a specific gut program where we send meals to you. But that's even apart from that, the very core of our meals, whether we are supplying to our clients or all of us founders and employees are eating at our home, is that we need to keep our gut healthy. So, what keeps our gut healthy? And terms like prebiotics and probiotics keep being thrown around at us very often, um, without us fully understanding what they really are. So, probiotics, and I'm sure you have done this in the first session that you guys did on how to ferment food, on specifically probiotics. So, I'm going to quickly skim over probiotics. Are the foods that contain live bacteria. These are the things that help us keep our gut healthy. Our gut contains 1 trillion microbes. And when I first heard this figure, it blew my mind. I mean, it's a tiny little thing, and it has 1 trillion amount of microbes. It is it's called the human second genome. It is as important as our gene system. So that's probiotics. And you have already done a session on probiotics. But there's something called prebiotics, which is probably as important as probiotics, but probably gets ignored very often. So, what are prebiotics? Prebiotics are the food that probiotics need. So even if you get healthy bacteria in your system via the fermented food and via the probiotics that you are eating, or whether you are eating them in forms of supplements or whether you are eating them in live food, you eat them. But if you don't feed this bacteria, this microbes, the food they need, your gut is not going to be healthy. And this food is what is prebiotics. It is essentially fiber. So what we say is all prebiotics are fiber, but not all fiber is prebiotics, and we'll come to that in the next slide. It is naturally present in many plant-based foods. Is very rarely found in animal foods. It is important even if you are non-vegetarian. That is why everyone keeps saying it's important to eat your vegetables, because that is where vegetables and fruits and grains and legumes, because that is where you get your prebiotics. They are often overshadowed by probiotics, but are just as critical. And I would go to an extent saying that they are probably a little more important than probiotics, because probiotics are getting importance and we are getting conscious about eating probiotics, but we are still not paying enough attention to the food that the probiotics need. So, going a little more into details, they are essentially non-digestible dietary fibers. These are the fibers. So, if you talk about fibers at large, there are two kinds of fiber. One kind of fiber that passes through our GI tract, and other kind of fiber that does not pass through our GI tract. So, the fiber that passes through our GI tract is the fiber that is probiotics. We can't digest them. It passes through our tract without getting digested. But the microbes in our gut that we have fed through probiotics can feed on them, can extract nutrients that they want from them, can extract enzymes that they want from them. And that is what they will get feed and grow in your GI tract. That is how they'll become 1 trillion in number, even if you feed them. See, when you eat a bowl of curd, you're not going to eat 1 trillion microbes, but those have to get converted in your stomach to a large amount of microbes to do their job well. And for that to happen, we have to give them enough prebiotics. That is why it is critical to feed them the microbes. So we have understood what are prebiotics, but where do you get the prebiotics from? Vegetables and fruits, and we have spoken about, there are some fibers that have it, some fibers that don't have it. So let's delve a little deeper into what are the things that can give me best prebiotics. And I will go over this list one by one. Raw garlic is a very interesting ingredient. It is a brilliant prebiotic. It's one of the best prebiotics is what people call it, but it is a prebiotic only when it is raw. Once you cook garlic, which is what typically most of us end up doing in our everyday cooking, it stops being a prebiotic. So garlic, but raw garlic. Onion, both raw and cooked, is prebiotic. Cabbage, carrots, a lot of vegetables are prebiotics, but some are specifically more so. For example, cabbage and carrots. That is why you will see even beetroots to an extent. That is why you will see a lot of fermented vegetables, a lot of fermented dishes make a lot of use in carrots and cabbage, because fermented dishes made from carrot and cabbages give you benefit of both the prebiotic as well as probiotic. Peas is another prebiotic vegetable which is great. Eggplant, most of the green leafy vegetables, specifically the bitter ones. When I say the bitter ones, let me give you a few examples. For example, amaranth leaves. Now, spinach is also a prebiotic, but the quality of prebiotic quality in spinach is probably a little lesser than the prebiotic quality in amaranth. Amaranth, khatta palak is nicely prebiotic. Rocket leaves, which are the salad leaves, which most of us find bitter, but are extremely good prebiotic. We unfortunately don't get that in India, but if you go abroad and talk about it, chicory leaves are extremely good prebiotics. And when I say chicory leaves, it's the same chicory that we use in coffee. We use the seeds of chicory in our coffee, whereas the leaves of chicory are eaten in salads, etc., in Europe and American regions, and they're extremely good prebiotics. So a lot of green bitter leaves. Mint is a good prebiotics. sharp, bitter tasting leaves, gongura, etc. I mean, so it is not just the international leaves, even the Indian leaves, which are sharp tasting, bitter tasting, are very, very good for are very, very good prebiotics. Corn is a good prebiotic. Um, More in fresh form than in the flour and processed form. You can eat sweet corn, baby corn kind of stuff. Those are excellent prebiotic stuff. One very interesting thing, and I have a slide to cover on this later, is cold potatoes and cold yam. Please note, and we'll come to this a little later, I'm not talking about all potatoes and all yam. I'm specifically talking about cold potatoes and cold yam. And they are extremely good for your health, and I will tell you how to make them and why, etc., in a little later slide. Leeks, which were very often used in soup stocks, etc., are very good. Asparagus, and I know some of them are not Indian vegetables, but we have a lot of Indian vegetables which are parallels to this, which are also very, very. You don't need to always eat fancy vegetables or fancy stuff to get your prebiotic needs. Then in fruits, apples are great prebiotic qualities. Grapefruit are great. In fact, again, all sharp citrus fruits are uh, great prebiotics. Mosambi, when I say grapefruit, I don't just mean the international grapefruit. Even a good old chakotra is great for prebiotics. Bananas, pomegranates, avocado. These are the fruits which are great as prebiotic inputs to your body gut. Then there are some things which are not fruit and vegetables, but are again give you a lot of prebiotic kind of fiber. Oats, almonds. Almonds are actually very, very good, whether you eat them soaked or you eat them ground or you eat them roasted. All kind of almonds give you lovely prebiotic qualities. Flax seeds, a lot of seeds like sesame and sunflower seeds also have prebiotics in them, but flax seeds top the charts with the prebiotic content uh, in the seeds category. Then beans, regular dals also have some amount of fiber, but not all of them is the prebiotic fiber. But beans like rajma, black beans, or even lobia have good amount of prebiotics in them. Chickpeas has prebiotic in them. Soya products like tofu, tempeh, and even the soya dal that you get has enough amount of probiotics in mushrooms. And I've specifically not placed them into vegetables because they are a little iffy. Mushrooms have great prebiotic qualities, and mushrooms are said to be one of the wonder fruits. They're not just prebiotics; they also have some amount of one of the only few vegetables and few plant-based ingredients that have B12 that your body can absorb. It has certain amount of protein in it. Mushrooms is a wonder thing that I keep telling people, especially the vegetarian folks, to include in their diet if they can, because it is really, really good for your health in a overall manner and not just in terms of prebiotics. So, how to eat prebiotics? So, now you have seen a whole list of things that you should eat when it comes to prebiotics. Some of them is weird, like we are not used to of eating raw garlic. How do I eat raw garlic and stuff, cold potatoes? So, how do you eat them? How do you make sure you get enough prebiotics? So, I'm just going to take you through some rules that you should follow and then give you a few ideas on how to use individual ingredients. So, my bottom line thing which I use in my house as well as in my commercial kitchen is that you include at least 3 prebiotics in your diet every day. So if you go through this list on the previous page, make sure 3 things of this in a certain small quantity also is okay, is included in your everyday meal. Every meal that you have include a raw component, because as you saw, see, there is fiber which is cooked, there is fiber which is raw, and both kind of fiber have its place in your meal. So if you only eat subjis, the raw vegetables, the raw fiber part of your body is not getting your body is not getting those amount of prebiotics, and it is important. So even if it is just one carrot sliced or one onions chopped or one cucumber, in every meal eat some form of raw vegetable. It is a very good idea to combine prebiotics and probiotics together in a single meal to enjoy the maximum benefit. You are putting the bacteria into yourself, and you are putting the bacteria's food into yourself, and it works as a very good medium to get your gut healthy faster. If you are eating grains, eat whole grains only, because whole grains have some amount of prebiotics, but more than that, the processed stuff depletes your gut of the bacteria that you are feeding it into. So, best to avoid processed grains. So now let's talk. Now we are going to go one by one on some of the peculiar ingredients that we don't probably use in our everyday thing, and some normal ingredients that I'll give you some fresh ideas to use in the kitchen. Raw garlic. When I speak to folks saying that you should eat raw garlic, one of the things that everybody asks me is that raw garlic, how do I eat raw garlic? I mean, I can cook garlic and put it in my dal or my sabji, but raw garlic is very hard to eat. So here are a few ideas that you can use for raw garlic. Add it to your salad dressings. Even if you are making not fancy salads, even if you are making just Indian, and I will send you a bunch of salad dressing recipes via Diksha, in which the raw garlic is added. But even if you are making just a simple kachumbar salad, you know, take lemon juice. You're probably used to adding chaat masala, lemon juice, salt, chili powder in your kachumbar salad. That's what you do. But take your lemon juice, take your chaat masala, take one pot of garlic, just give it a nice grind, either in a mixie or in a mortar and a pestle, so that it becomes all mixed up. And the flavor you get in your kachumbar will also be nice. And of course, you will get the prebiotic benefit of the cucumber, of the garlic. And anyways, in the international salads, you can always mix there. But I'm saying you don't need to necessarily eat fancy salads to put garlic in the dressing. Add it to your dips or your chutneys. Tomato chutneys, coconut chutney, peanut chutney, any South Indian chutney, even your mint and coriander chutney. You can add a drop of two of garlic, and mint and coriander both are green leafy vegetables. So when you combine them, which mint is also prebiotic, when you combine that with garlic and eat a spoonful of that on the side with your meals, it gives you a lot of good prebiotic content. You can add it to your dips like hummus and hunker dip, etc. One of the very interesting thing to do with garlic, which I find, is that just smash a little garlic, throw those pods either in your ghee or in your butter or in your olive oil, and it produces a very nice flavorful oil. And you can use this oil to make stir fries, to make you can top soup with it. You can use this oil to make as a base of your tadkas. You can do so much with it. But and it's very very simple. Just throw in, if you're doing olive oil, smash a few pods of garlic, take 100 ml olive oil, throw in a couple of basil leaves or a couple of rosemary leaves, and let it stand for a week. Your oil will become extremely flavorful to use in anything you want, and you would get all the benefits of prebiotic benefits of the garlic, as well as other herbs in your food. Added to fermented vegetables. I was seeing some pictures, the part of the group I am. Some of you have been making uh, fermented carrot. I think I saw some fermented carrot and fermented beets. Throw in a few garlic pods into it, and it will not just increase the flavor of your fermented vegetables. You can eat that garlic because it will soften and will give you a great amount of prebiotic at the same time as probiotics. So these are some of the ways to eat raw garlic. Some folks just get up in the morning. I remember my dad used to just get up in the morning and eat raw garlic first thing in the night. If you are brave enough to do that, please do that. But this is how you can easily and tastily add raw garlic to your food. Next is cold potatoes, and I know like I said, I will speak about cold potatoes now. So what happens? What happens to potatoes is that, oops, sorry. When we when we say cold potatoes, when we make cold potatoes, the starch in the potatoes and a lot of other tuber vegetables like yam, arbi, etc., turns into something called resistant starch. Resistant starch is actually another form of fiber, which is also a great prebiotic. Uh, it is also, and it passes through our GI tract without getting digested, but it still gives us all the satiety of eating potatoes. It's also actually something we tell folks with lifestyle diseases to include in their diet, because it does not spike insulin as much as the other grains. So, but one of the things to remember, and I'll come to how to make cold potatoes. One of the things to remember is that in India we are very used to of eating kind of potatoes along with carbs. We don't eat them instead of carbs. We are eating masala dosa, aloo puri, puri sabji, methi aloo ki sabji. All of these are greatly satisfying and comforting dishes. But that is not how you should eat cold potatoes. You should eat cold potatoes in place of carbohydrates. The meal you include this, do not eat any main, any roti or any rice. Use them as your side to the dish. So how to make them? It is fairly simple to make. You cook your potato as you want to, whether you want to bake it or you want to boil it or you want to make a curry out of it or you want to mash it. Cook it, cool it for 6 to 8 hours before you eat. So you boil, let's say you want to make a potato salad, which is probably shown on the screen, which you can see on the screen. This is what you can see on the screen is a rocket and sweet potato cold salad, and I have added hunkered dressing to it. So what if you have to make this? What you have to do is roast your sweet potatoes or boil your sweet potatoes, chop them, put them in the fridge for 6 hours, take it out, dice, and then mix it up with the rest of the ingredients. You can use the same thing to make your Indian sabjis also if you want. You can use the same thing to make soups and other stuff. But the key is to let it stand for 6 to 8 hours to convert into a resistant starch. You can use them in salads, like I just explained the salad on the screen. You can make a good potato soup with it, and you can top that potato soup with fermented veggies to get both prebiotics and probiotics together. You can make mashed potatoes out of it. You can combine it with kimchi or ferment it, like I said, top it with this. Kimchi and potatoes make an excellent combination. So boil potatoes, mix it with kimchi, and make a salad or make a stir fry. Put some fermented carrots in it. Put some raw cabbage or any other vegetables of choice. In the end, you can throw in a little bit of noodles if you still craving, etc. But kimchi and cold potatoes work as a brilliant combination, even in terms of flavor as well as balancing both prebiotics and probiotics together. Again, like I showed, combine it with salad greens for the best fiber benefit. And there's a reason why lalu methi is such a good dish. I would like to believe, because I think the methi is also one of the very bitter greens that which are local to us, and it is a great prebiotic. And when combined with aloo, especially if cold potatoes, it makes an excellent wholesome dish for your gut. Soy. When we talk about soy, a lot of us are actually not used to of including tofu, tempeh, etc. in our meals, and we are often at loss on how to do this. Uh, but both tofu and tempeh are excellent sources of pre and probiotics. They're excellent sources of plant protein. So here are a few tips then you can use to include them. You can use both tofu and tempeh in stir fries. Tempeh has a particular method to cook. I think you have to boil it, then drain it. And if you buy any tempeh packet, they will tell you on how to cook that particular tempeh. But tofu is fairly simple. You just have to cook it like paneer. And especially the ones that you get in market now, which are somewhere in between firm tofu and silken tofu. Stir fries come out excellent in it. Any form of sauces you can use it. You can use it in salads. Tofu can be eaten raw. You don't need to actually cook it at all. So you can eat it, chop it up and put it in your salads for that extra dose of prebiotic and probiotic and protein. If the one that you see on the right, I mean, I don't know whether you guys can see my mouse or not. This is a salad. I mean, this is a slaw salad with cabbage and all that. But these are pieces of tofu which I have coated with a little bit of quinoa, a little bit of sesame seeds, and pan fried a little. They made an excellent snack, and they also make a great addition to any salad you want. They're excellent evening snack. Your child comes from school, you can give them with a bit of chutney or tomato ketchup, or they make a great post-workout snack because you get protein, you get prebiotics, you get probiotics, and your body can really digest that protein very well. Tofu is an excellent replacement to paneer in all your Indian curries. You want to make paneer butter masala, you can make tofu butter masala. I mean, you want to make a palak paneer, palak tofu. Any Indian curries where you are using paneer, tofu can be almost blindly replaced. It makes You can mash it and add it to your sandwich. And if you actually mash it and put it in the mixie one time to make a slight paste out of it, it is an excellent mayo replacement, an excellent healthy mayo replacement. It gives you a nice nutty flavor. It gives you a creaminess of the mayo, while having none of the extremely fatty qualities of mayo. People who don't eat egg or buy the mayo which is from the market is extremely bad for your health. It's just loaded with preservatives and inflammatory oils. So mashed up and swirled up tofu makes for an excellent mayo replacement in sandwiches. You can add it in soups for body. You can mash and add on soup for body instead of cream uh, as a thickener, or you can chop it up and add it in soup for the sake of preservative. Both ways work very well, and it adds flavor. It adds great health to your stuff. So this is soya. I think this slide has got repeated. I'm sorry. And then generally a few ideas around other vegetables like carrot, peas, etc. I mean, these are some ideas generally to cook vegetables in your home, apart from what you do regularly. Um, Adds raw to salads, of course, chopped, grated, all of these vegetables. Most of the vegetables can be eaten raw. Most actually, one of the things with a lot of prebiotic vegetables can be eaten raw. Can be is the key. If you are conscious, you can quickly blanch them and eat them. Just throw them in the boiling water, take them out after a minute, so that all the if you are worried about any kind of anti-nutrients, they can get filtered, etc. You can grill most of these vegetables, whether it is peas, beetroot, carrots, eggplant, leeks, asparagus. You can grill it in the stove or in the oven with a little bit of garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper. You can eat them raw. You can eat them with dips. Braised, you can braise them on the picture that you are seeing is actually braised carrots with capers and olives are actually another excellent prebiotics and probiotics together. They are often sold in brine, so they are naturally fermented, and they have a beautiful they have a lot of nutrients that are specifically found only in olives and capers. So if you can, do include them. Braising essentially means just quick boiling and then putting a fat and frying it with it. Make soups out of all your vegetables. Keep the fiber. Do not filter the fiber. Of course, we can eat it as sabjis and palyas, but one thing to note is that do not overcook your vegetables. We as Indians are very, very fond of overcooking everything. We eat meat which is overcooked, we eat vegetables which is overcooked. So my advice is when you are eating these vegetables as your normal sabjis, eat them, do not overcook them. Also, keep a mix. Eat them raw sometimes and eat them cooked sometimes. Both kinds will give you certain fiber absorption, which is good for you. So this was till prebiotics. We can actually, if you want, we can actually take a break now and answer any questions that we've had till now before I move into probiotic section.
If you have any questions, you can unmute and ask Monika. She will be more than happy to answer.
Yes.
Hi, this is Gomti here.
Hi,
Regarding
Gomti.
the cold potatoes, you said that
Yeah.
they need to be roasted or boiled and allowed to sit for 6 to 8 hours. And did you say it has to be refrigerated or
Best
outside?
is refrigerated. I mean, you can leave them outside if you don't mind. See, sometimes the weather, potatoes also start smelling a little faster. So sometimes the weather, if it is hot and all that, it is best to store it in the fridge just for the safety purpose.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions before we move on to the probiotics part? Happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll just start sharing my screen and move there.
I actually,
So,
I've got a question. Sorry, guys.
Yes, please.
What do you mean when you say whole grains? Well, can you give me a few examples?
Why whole grains? Primarily, if you are saying whole wheat, if you are saying whole wheat, you eat whole wheat. When you are saying rice, I would rather eat a unpolished rice. Don't eat unpolished white rice. You eat red/brown rice, which has not been removed. So basically, when you define whole grains, what you define is that it is not been processed and the fiber part of the grain is not been fully removed. So when you say wheat, you talk about the whole wheat along with the wheat germ and the outer husk. The processed part of wheat would be maida, and the whole grain part of, I'm just giving rice and wheat as an example. For rice would be the whole brown/red rice, which is eaten as is, versus the polished white rice.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, ma'am. This is Komala. Hi. I just wanted to know that, see, in the slide, it was mentioned that tofu is better than paneer. So
No, no,
paneer
it's not
is not.
better than paneer. It is not better than. See, okay. So I'm not saying tofu is better than paneer. I am specifically talking about tofu from the perspective of a prebiotic food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
paneer
in
is
general,
also a prebiotic.
paneer is not really fermented. Paneer is just we make paneer by putting milk in it and breaking it, right? That's how. So it's not naturally fermented. Whereas curd is naturally fermented. Curd has gut bacteria, live microbes in it. Paneer does not. So I was specifically talking from the perspective of prebiotic and probiotic. Also, the soy in itself is prebiotic in nature, whereas milk is not prebiotic in nature. Milk actually has a, uh, slight gut irritant stuff. So there are people who do not, for whom milk doesn't suit. Curd suits, of course, because that is fermented again. Whereas soy in itself, as a legume, as a bean, is actually prebiotic in itself. So I was talking about replacing tofu from paneer from that perspective. I was not saying we should stop eating paneer or tofu. I was not making a blank comparison on tofu is better than paneer. I
Okay.
was just giving you ideas on how to include tofu in your diet because it is good to eat tofu because it is probiotic and lower in fat, etc.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
just
ma'am.
to
Thanks
make it
very
a
much.
little clear, so I would like to add a few things here. All the prebiotics are the fibers. They are the soluble fibers, and the animal sources do not have soluble fibers. Animal sources
Correct.
are rich in protein. So all the
Yes.
soluble fibers would be present in your plant-based food. And that is
Correct.
why Monica was saying that tofu is a good prebiotic. Okay, as compared to paneer. Paneer is mostly protein and fats. So you can make the choice depending what your health goal is. If you are looking to lose weight or if you have a metabolic syndrome or any food insensitivity where lactose or casein or dairy as such is contraindicated, then tofu would be a very good inclusion in the diet. And Monica gave us certain tips today on how to include tofu because it is generally very bland.
Yeah.
So, you need to know the right way of including tofu, and she has given some excellent tips to do that. So, if you have not started taking tofu, I think it will be a good idea to maybe start and see, how your body and your taste palette accepts it with the tips that is given today.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
That's great. Thank you.
so shall
Hello,
we
ma'am.
move on to the probiotics part of it?
Yeah, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. I have a
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Grilled food is causes cancer. Some people are saying that, and
So
Food
there are two
can
things about grilled. One thing
grill.
is, I
Huh.
think Rohini has already responded to your message that charcoal has certain components that can be cancerous in nature, but
Okay.
grilling process is not really cancerous, and also the charcoal stuff also is not really there. There are theories going around both sides. But having said that, what I mean by grilling, nobody is going to open a charcoal grill in their home every day. What I mean by
Yeah.
grilling is the grilling in the oven, roasting, braising, grilling in the oven, grilling on the gas, using that. So that is perfectly safe. Actually, it's an excellent way to cook your food, because all the nutrients remain inside the food and they don't because the heat is constant. So it is
Okay.
grilling in your home, in an oven or in a gas pan, is not all dangerous from any angle.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I'll go back to my PPT and we will quickly cover. I think we are already quite a lot into the session, but we will quickly cover the probiotics now. So, probiotics, okay, I'm bringing a few pictures on the screen, and all of this have one thing in common: they're all fermented. And I think you guys have gone through a session on probiotics, so I don't need to really explain to you what probiotic stuff is. But just quickly revising, just quickly going through over in a minute to revise or have people who are not in the first session get information. Anything which is for being fermented is probiotic. Anything which has live microbes in it is probiotic. Um, for me, when I talk about eating
Excuse
probiotics,
me, Monica, are you sharing the screen? Can
yes, can
everybody
you not see
see
the
the?
screen? It's showing me I'm sharing the screen. Were you not able to share the screen? I will share it again if you are not able to.
Yeah, we were not able to find
Okay,
it.
I'll start again. I'll start again. Give me
Thank
a
you.
minute. Sorry. Can you see my screen now? I'll go to the PPT, but can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
It is saying Zoom is sharing your screen. Can you not see my screen with the meeting?
Still buffering.
Uh, can you try sharing once again?
Give me a minute. Can you see the screen?
No.
It's very weird. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just drop the call and join again. Maybe something is wrong because I am sharing my screen. So give me a minute. I'll drop and come back again.
Sure, Monica.
So till Monica joins back again, so I would like to re-emphasize the fact what Monica was mentioning, because many of the people who came to us for counseling or consultation, generally what I have heard is people saying that we have been taking a lot of probiotics and stuff, but it has not helped us. So what you need to do is also go back and check the amount of fiber also that you're consuming, because till you feed those probiotics it will not show you any benefit. So please be mindful of the amount of fiber that goes into your diet and not only concentrate on the probiotic foods. Yes, Monica, we can see the screen now, so you can go ahead.
Monica, you're on mute.
Yeah, so talking about probiotics, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
And you can see the screen?
Yes.
Great. So, talking about probiotic, I'm just going to. I know a lot of you did the session on the first session where we guys went into in depth of probiotics. So I'm not going to go on a lot of in depth in what probiotics are or how to make probiotics. I'll just do a quick recap of that. But I will use the next 15 minutes to kind of cover how to use probiotics in your thing, because one of the things that I often get from people that I talk to when I take workshops or anything else is that, okay, I've made fermented vegetables, but what do I do of them? And that is what we will focus today's session on. I saw some of you making fermented vegetables and tapaches in your group, and it was very, very heartwarming to see. So let's just quickly start on this session, this section of the session. So if you look at all the pictures that are coming up on the screen now, one thing is common to all the pictures, that all of them are fermented. What do we mean by fermentation? What do you actually mean by fermentation? And what fermentation means is that using the natural sugars of your food to create bacteria. That's what essentially ferment to create good bacteria. That, in a very short form, is fermentation. And controlled fermentation leads to good bacteria, which feeds your body with excellent live microbes. And that is what your gut needs. When we say we have to eat fermented food, one of the key things to know, and I'm not going to go into details of how to make fermented foods, one of the key things to know is that variety matters. See, remember at the starting of the session, I told you guys that there are 1 trillion microbes in our gut. Now, not all 1 trillion of microbes of them are the same, right? Like, I've heard many people come to me and say, Monica, we eat fermented food. I eat curd every day. Very good. Curd is excellent for you. Curd has excellent probiotic, but it is only one kind of probiotic. And what your body needs is a variety of probiotics. That is why including a variety, different kinds of probiotics in your diet is a very important and a very good idea. And that is why for some people, supplements work a little better. Probiotic supplement work a little better than eating probiotic food. And Rohini probably will know this better than I am. That very often people come up to me and say that, I can eat probiotic foods, but I feel supplements are better. And supplements are better because supplement combine a lot of those microbes and put it together in a supplement form for you. Whereas when you eat them in live food, which honestly I believe is far more beneficial than eating a supplement, you have to make the effort to eat create the variety yourself. Consciously make sure that you are eating multiple kinds of probiotic foods to get all kind of microbes. And one rule that I follow sincerely for myself is that anything and everything can be fermented. If you see anything in your kitchen that you are saying is not looking great, I don't know how to use it, I don't know what to do with it, ferment it. The basic brine formula of fermentation you would have got in your first session. I will also include it in my recipe book when I follow. A basic 3% brine works for 99% of the ingredients that exist. And almost all of them taste better after fermentation, unless you detest the sour taste, because all fermented food tastes a little sour. Otherwise, everything can be fermented. And my another, like I talk about prebiotics, to include at least 3 kinds of prebiotics, include at least 2 kinds of probiotics in your day. This can be same for a period of time and then you shuffle. For example, eat a curd and you've made a batch of kombucha at your house, or you've bought kombucha, drink kombucha as a second time. Or you've made a batch of pickled carrots and you want to finish them. For that week, eat pickled carrot. For next week, eat kimchi. But make sure you eat at least 2 varieties of probiotics every day. If possible, eat 3 to 4, but a bare minimum of 2 every day will do great wonders to your gut. And cycle them. Cycle those two. Don't get stuck to only those two. One of the other very important question that I get asked, and I think it is important to consider is what happens to these live bacteria when I'm cooking them. One of our favorite foods to talk about, and I think everybody talks about it. Oh, idli is a fermented food. Oh, idli is probiotic. It's very good for you. But what happens when we cook it? What happens when we steam idli? So idli is a fermented food is 100% right. Idli is a probiotic is not right. Because most of the live bacteria is cooked while cooking. So when you take a fermented food and cook it, you are losing the live bacteria. The live microbes are not going in your system. But does that mean it is not healthy? It is still very healthy food. And why is it healthy? Because it is very gentle on your gut. So if you go back on the process of fermentation and try to understand what happens in fermentation, is that essentially the bacteria that is getting formed breaks down some of your food. And when it breaks down some of your food, the nutrients in the food become very easy to absorb. The digestion and the effect on the gut is very, very gentle. So these fermented foods, which are cooked and eaten, are still very healthy for you, even if they are not probiotics. So while you should eat them on a regular basis, you should not count them as your probiotic dose of the day. Idli is still healthy, but idli is not probiotic. That's the distinction. Idli is still easy to digest, very, very easy to digest, but idli will not give you live microbes. Is the only thing that I'm trying to bring a focus point to. It is very good to include some cooked fermented foods in your diet on your regular basis. Abhi tak I have till now I have repeatedly spoken about raw foods. Include raw foods in your diet. Eat raw foods. Eat salads. But including cooked fermented foods is also excellent idea. Eat it couple of times a week, whether in forms of idli or in forms of other cooked fermented foods that we will come to. So the next question, what everybody gets confused in, is what do I do with fermented foods? Now I made a huge bat of kimchi, but what do I do? I can't eat kimchi by myself more than a spoon. And I'm bored of eating 1 spoon of kimchi every day, or even pickled carrots. I made a big box or jar of pickled carrots, but all my family is saying, don't put pickled carrots on my plate for every meal. They're fed up of seeing it. I'm fed up of seeing it, and we all are. We all love variety. We all love different things. So we need to learn how to use these fermented foods and include them in your kitchens in a variety of ways. And that is what I will cover in the next few things. Let's start with kimchi. One of the most popular probiotic foods, fermented foods, everyone you talk about is kimchi slash sauerkraut, which is again made with cabbage. One of the easiest ways to eat kimchi is to chop some and add to your salad. You do not even need a dressing if you do that. I mean, you do not need chilies, you do not need chaat masala, you do not need lemon, you do not need oil, because the juices of kimchi will give you all the flavor that your salad needs, and it'll add a beautiful, and because it is not only kimchi, it will not taste as strong and overpowering as kimchi does, and it'll tone down, it'll make a beautiful salad. Add to the soups, but try to add it in the end of cooking. So when you, for example, if you're making any Asian soup and you're finished cooking the soup, switch it off, bring it to slightly, but make it that it's sure it's not a boiling temperature, then add your kimchi and stir. This is a cooked version of kimchi. This will give you benefits of cabbage, etc., but not the probiotics, but it adds excellent flavor add it to your fried rice and noodles. Every time you make fried rice and noodles, whether you're making cauli fried rice or you're making konjac noodles or you're making the real ones, adding kimchi to them is a very good idea. Add to the stir fries all kind of stir fries, whether they are with tofu, without tofu, vegetables, meat, anything. All stir fries added towards the end of the cooking. It'll lift the flavor, as well as, because you're not going to cook it after adding, it'll gain the probiotics thing to it. I personally think the kimchi liquid is gold. And it has so much flavor in it, and it has so much good gut bacteria in it, that my heart bleeds when people throw away that liquid. That liquid is actually gold. Use it to flavor your salad dressings. If you are making an international salad dressing, for example, or even an Indian salad dressing, take a little bit of the liquid and use it as so one of the things that many of you guys know, for salad dressings, we say make a vinaigrette. So vinaigrette is essentially some form of khatta, whether it is vinegar or lemon mixed.
Monica, we are losing your voice. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Diksha. I think some problem with her connection, I suppose. Monica, you're still not audible.
Even chutneys. In my house, any
Hi, Monica, can you hear me? I think there's some network issue from.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Now we
Did you
can.
lose me?
Yeah.
Did you guys lose me? You were trying to call me on WhatsApp, and
Yes.
so when did you lose me? Sorry, I don't know what the issue was.
Yeah, I think you were talking about kimchi.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll start from kimchi again.
you said how to incorporate it in the soup.
Okay,
The
That's
I
how.
will.
vinaigrette.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I will come to that. I will. I don't know. Something is there with the network today.
No issues, Monica. Please continue.
Sorry. Can you guys see my screen
Yes, we
and hear
can.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I was saying soups. I said another good way of using kimchi is to add it to your noodles and fried rice. This will kill the probiotics, yes, because you'll be cooking with it, but it'll still add flavor and give you the benefits that we spoke about in the previous slides. Add to stir fries towards the end of the cooking. Kimchi liquid, which a lot of people don't use, as far as I'm concerned, is gold. I mean, it has beautiful flavor. Lot of gut bacteria. Use it in various places. Add it to your salad dressings, add it to your soups, dips, even chutneys. At home, when we make dal chutney or when we make peanut chutney or chutneys which need a little bit of khatta. So instead of adding tamarind, I often add 1 spoon of kimchi liquid. Even to dals and curries and rasams, kimchi adds a very, very interesting flavor. And if you add it towards the end after the cooking, it does not even kill the bacteria in it. That was for kimchi. Now coming to fermented vegetables, various kind of fermented vegetables, and what can we use it? Again use it in salads, sandwiches, open toasts. All kind of fermented vegetable taste great on a avocado toast, or on a paneer toast, or on a tofu toast. They taste great with eggs. with omelette, scrambled eggs, or if you are making a parfait, a savory parfait with yogurt and nuts, which is one of my favorite breakfasts in the day I eat. I just take yogurt, throw in some nuts, and throw in a bit of fermented vegetable, mix it all up and eat it. You can also soak some chia seeds in it, add to soups and stews. Actually, people laugh at me, but they work extremely well in sambar. I mean, when you just throw it off in your sambar, it is good to digest, easy to digest. Turn them into sauces and dips. I mean, a simple, for example, if you have made fermented beetroots, you can take the beetroot as well as a little bit of that equal, grind it with hummus, and you will have a great fermented beetroot hummus. Similarly, if you have fermented, let's say, carrot, or if you have fermented peas, you grind the peas and make a pea and add some thyme to it and make a pea and thyme sauce, and you can serve it with grilled paneer, you can grill with grilled chicken, and stuff like that, and it is extremely tasty and it's extremely healthy. You can just serve the vegetables as it is alongside some cheese. Actually, cheese is another thing that I want to talk about. It is fermented. Most cheese is fermented. When I make cheese, I don't mean Amul and Britannia processed cheese. I mean the little bit better cheeses. All cheeses are fermented. They have excellent probiotics in them by default. Serve it alongside cheese. Serve it alongside hummus. Eat some kind of fermented vegetables daily. If you don't have time to ferment vegetables for a very long time, you can do quick fermentation. By quick fermentation, I mean just chop a carrot or chop an onion or chop some cabbage, uh, put some lemon juice in it, and leave it for a couple of hours and eat it. That also has probiotics in it. It does not have as many bacteria as a long brined fermentation has, but that itself has some. So please eat some form of fermented vegetables, even if it is 1-2 tablespoons of serving daily. It does wonders to your body, because each what happens with fermented vegetables is each vegetable has its own form of bacteria. So when you get ferment a beetroot, versus you ferment a cabbage versus you ferment a peas, you get different strains of microbes with each ferment. That is why it is very good and interesting to mix up all these fermented vegetables and eat all of them. Use the brine again as souring agent. It is a very good thing, and you can use this as a starting agent to your other ferments also. So if you are putting a new ferment, take a spoon of the old brine and add it to your new ferment, uh, just like some old times maybe used to do, right? So that also acts as a very good thing, because a lot of these bacteria mature over time and ferment to ferment, just like sourdough starter. Sourdoughs are fermented, by the way. Sourdoughs are probiotics, not probiotics, fermented, easy to digest, because when you bake them, the part goes away. So that's what the fermented vegetables are. Now, another thing which I want to talk about, which I find very interesting, and we personally, I feel, don't pay much attention to, is Indian ferments. When we think of ferments, we only think of international foods, which is so vastly untrue. Fermentation is very intrinsic to Indian culture in many ways. What you see on the screen are two very old Indian ferments. Both of them are also probiotics and are eaten raw. And then there is, of course, the panta bhat, the rice kanji, form of which is found in most of the rice eating states. Panta bhats in Bengal, pakla bhat in Orissa, the rice kanji in and Kerala. So it is as simple as taking boiled rice, putting water in them, fermenting it overnight. It develops beautiful gut bacteria, and you eat it. When you eat it, I don't know whether there's a photo of this or not somewhere. I think I had it, and I will share it in the group if it is not there here. And you eat it with a traditionally it is eaten with 2 or 3 at least accompaniments, and all of these accompaniments are the things which have natural prebiotics. So it is such a beautifully balanced dish for your gut. And I highly recommend everyone eats it at least once a week, if not more, or at least once in 10 days if you can. It is very, very simple to make. It is such intrinsic to our culture, and it is very, we have kind of seem to have forgotten it. Then there is a fermented drink called kanji. If you are from the north, you will know it. It is made with many, many things. In winters, it is made with black carrot. Otherwise, it is made with beetroot, or sometimes it is just made with plain mustard seeds without any vegetables in it. So you, and it is a very, very sharp drink, and it is a drink that existed many centuries ago, before kombucha became the popular hip drink to drink. This is what we Indians were drinking. So you take root vegetables like black carrot or red carrot or beetroot, put mustard seeds, salt, and lots of water, and let it ferment over next 3 4 days. I have a recipe, I will send it to you guys. And it's sharp. There is no sweetness in it at all, and it is so beautiful because you're not eating any sugar. Your body is not eating any sugar, but it is getting some excellent gut bacteria into it. Then there is all a series of what you see on screen, which is, the title is pickling with mustard. A series of things which in the north again is called pani ka achar, which is essentially any and any vegetable you can think of, any fruit you can think of, is added to a brine which has mustard in it, ground yellow and black mustard. So you take water, you take salt, you take yellow and black mustard, ground, add to it, add very less water actually, and you let it ferment for again for 2 3 days. It's called pani ka achar. It is made with apples, it is made with carrots, it is made with turnips, it is made with peas, it is made with cauliflower, it is made with just about any vegetable. Aloo, there's a aloo ka achar which is made this way. It is made with just about any vegetable, and it is made specifically in winters because winter is harsh, especially in the north. Winter is harsh on your body. It takes a toll, and keeping your gut healthy makes you tolerate winter, etc. In little more thing. A lot of Indian breads are fermented, like khatti roti, sale roti from the northeast region, doli roti, which is original Indian sardo from Punjab, dosa, idli, of course. Gundruk, Gundruk is again an Indian ferment, which is a fermented radish or mustard leaves. It is from the south. It is from the northeast again. It is very, very delicious, and it is also extremely good food. So we have a massive culture of smoked, dried, fermented meats, both in the south of India, in the interiors of Tamil Nadu, Chettinad area, and some parts of Kerala, as well as in the north of east, as well as in the Rajasthan and Uttarakhand area. So it is in many areas that we have a culture of fermented, smoked, dried meat. So it is, fermentation is very, very intrinsic to India, though we keep forgetting this. And when we think of fermented food, when we think of gut friendly food, somehow we forget our own foods and we just look at international foods. But it is very, very intrinsic. And that's all I had. Happy to answer any questions, guys.
Monica, there is one very nice question in the chat box.
I will check the chat box. Sorry.
Yes. So Gomti is asking if there is a difference between pickled vegetables and fermented vegetables, and which is better.
Okay, so pickled vegetables are a form of fermented vegetables. So pickling is of many kinds. See, especially in India, we do pickling with oil, we do pickling with brine. So pickling with brine is actually the same as fermented vegetables. You just add more flavor to it, but pickling in oil, which is our Indian achars, is not fermentation. It is not fermented vegetables. So if you are, that is not at all fermented. We do a little drying before we put in oil, but actually oil and fat arrest fermentation. Does that kind of answer your question?
Maybe if I know the process of making, the difference in process of making the recipes to both, then I'll understand it better.
So pickled vegetables, if you're talking about
Monica, we have lost you again. Is it just me?
Oh, I thought it was just me.
I think she's
Gomti,
back.
is she back? Gomti, from what I have seen in the markets with the pickles,
Yep.
I think you get two kinds of pickle. One which is authentically fermented, one which is just preserved in a vinegar solution.
Okay.
Okay, so it is good to select something which is traditionally fermented ones rather than one which has main ingredient as vinegar, spices, and oil.
Sorry, I think I got dropped again. I'm back. Did you guys hear the explanation that I gave, or you
Uh,
guys lost me before that?
I think you need to repeat it, Monica. I'm sorry.
Okay, so no problems. So pickled vegetables, there are three kinds of pickles that you make. Okay, broadly. One, if you talk about Indian pickles, which are primarily made in oil, which is not fermented at all. And so we are not getting any probiotic benefits out of them. 90% they are not benefit. There are some pickles which we brine first and then put in oil but 90% of Indian pickles are not fermented. Let's say 80% of Indian pickles are not fermented. They are basically oil pickles. And those are not giving you any probiotic benefits. Then there are fermented vegetables which are fermented in brine, which is usually 3%, anywhere between 3% to 5% brine. And when I mean 3% to 5% brine, what I mean is there is vegetables ka weight, there is water ka weight. Combined of that weight, we add 3 to 5% of salt in it. That is what 3% to 5% brine is. Those are very, very good for your gut because it helps develop natural bacteria. It absorbs the nutrients from the vegetables and develops bacteria. Then there are another range of pickles, the American pickles, the gherkins and the other stuff, right? And the jalapenos and all of that. A lot of the commercial ones that you get there are actually brined in vinegar. They're preserved in vinegar. They're pickled in vinegar. So they do have benefits, but the benefits of the brined pickled vegetables outweigh the benefits of the vinegar pickled. So that is how I will rate all three of them. Does that kind of answer questions?
Monica, I had a question added to that.
Yes.
Uh, what if vegetables are like pickled using apple cider vinegar? Would it still be considered as beneficial as
It
compared to
is
brine?
beneficial because apple cider vinegar in itself has, especially if you're using the apple cider vinegar with the mother, it in itself has some form of bacteria that it will add to the whole process. So it is still beneficial. It is not it is beneficial. But if you use synthetic vinegar, that's a different matter altogether.
Right. So because we get a lot of these small onions which are preserved in vinegar, right?
Correct, correct.
Huh. So can we make something like that at home using apple
Yes,
cider vinegar?
absolutely. You can make something like that for the home. Just don't use synthetic vinegar. Use apple cider vinegar instead of, or in fact, not just apple cider is great, but there
Mhm.
are in the market now very interesting vinegars, fruit vinegars coming in. And I don't know whether your fermentation session covered making vinegars. You can actually make vinegars at home from any fruit. It is not very difficult process. And I will try to see if I can find the recipe and send it in the group.
That will be great, Monica. Maybe we'll have one more session with you where you can show us how to make these vinegars.
So vinegars making is not a difficult process at all. Actually, it takes patience. Yes, it takes time, but you can make your own vinegars. You can create your own mothers for your apple cider vinegar. I last year I made jamun vinegar, pear vinegar. You can make plum vinegar. You can make vinegars, and some of these are actually now available with smaller vendors, and you can buy them. Uh, for me, I always feel, especially when it comes to fermented foods, small batch is better than mass produced because it preserves stuff far better than mass produced stuff. But fermenting in apple cider is good.
That's really great to know, Monica. Could we sometime, if it is possible, to get a demonstration of that or
I will
any?
see how to manage it. It's a little tedious demonstration because the process is
Right.
very long. But I will see if I can what I can do about it. I think
Or
about
if
it
you
and get
have a
back to you.
video, yeah, if you have a video reference or
Please
Yeah,
something,
do
if
I will
that's
try to
record it.
find something. I don't think I have created a video, but a friend of mine does a lot of content of fermentation. I'll see if I can find something that she has done.
Great. That would be really
Yeah,
helpful. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, ma'am. This is Soumya. Ma'am,
Yes,
you said that panika achar, that ingredients are water, salt, and yellow and black mustard, right? For
yes.
1 liter
I
of
have.
water, how much?
You will get a recipe. I have included one panika achar recipe in the booklet that you'll
Okay.
get mostly tomorrow, at best on Tuesday, but mostly you should get that booklet from me tomorrow. The panika achar recipe is there in that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
would it
Okay.
also have the shelf life? I mean, would these be short-term
Yes.
fermented foods or long-term storage,
I mean, not
basically?
all fermented foods. Whatever the recipes I have included, it'll have the shelf life of those.
Thank you.
Very time. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking time out on a Sunday afternoon and listening to me. I hope the session was of help. And if any other questions are there, you can pass them to Diksha and I'll be happy to answer.
Yes, so you can also question on the group itself directly. And somebody was asking for the group link. I have shared on the chat. Please find that. If you cannot, please drop a mail to my email ID. I've shared the email as well, so that you can, I will give you the group link directly if you just couldn't catch the link here from here.
Yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am. I joined. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
great, great.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Monica, thank you so much
Yes.
for your time. I think we lost Rohini ma'am by the towards the
Oh, because the
now.
network is playing tracks with everybody.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Hi, ma'am. Yeah, it was a wonderful session, and yeah, waiting for that. I think every participant is waiting for that PDF of yours, and yeah, it was great to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Monica.
you.
Thank you all for giving your time on a Sunday, and all the people who are watching live. It was a great session indeed. Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you, Gomati, for being such an active participant. Yeah. And everyone, actually.